The air was filled with smoke and blood.
Hey guys, welcome to my impressions video for Total War Attila. I was lucky enough to receive the review build a while ago and already got some hours into the game. As of now I'm only allowed to upload reviews. Normal videos will be out after the official release on the 17th. Most of this video is based on a campaign I'm doing with the Franks at the moment. I've only seen the early game yet, so keep that in mind. Everything in this video is based on my own opinion. Don't shoot me, you may disagree. If you do, leave your comment in the comment section below. I would also like to note that this video is not sponsored or anything like that at all. So the first thing I want to show you are some things on the campaign map, and that's why I want to welcome you to my Frankish campaign. This is turn 58 in the campaign, it is 409 AD, and as I said, I've been playing with the Franks. So to give you a short impression, this is my little empire right now. Got Frisia, got Skenza, and one region over here in Godiskenza. Already after 58 turns, the first thing I want to show you is the AI, because the AI in this game is random. It is very random. The AI will just invade randomly everywhere. For example, the Geats are right here, the Jutes are right here, the Ostrogoths are right here, the Visigoths are right here. So all those factions are really on the move, especially Horde factions. If we go to diplomacy, the Huns are actually right here, next to Gaul, on the coast of France. So they went all the way from here to here. It isn't bad in my opinion, because it really fits the time zone, but that is the first heads up I want to give you. This campaign will be random, it will be a lot of fun to play. So how am I doing? As you can see, everyone hates me, so not too well. I'm holding my own, but I'm getting just destroyed by all those angry barbarian tribes on my coast. So the general impressions of this game, very good. So the general view of the campaign is the most important thing, of course, and all the weak points from Rome 2 have been improved. For example, the character system. You may know that you now have really some sort of faction leader that's really iconic. You will see this skin on the battle and a campaign map, and he is really your guy, you know, the guy of the tribe in this case. The same goes for your other generals, and that's mostly because of this new faction tree, of course. Faction 3, of course, it looked cool. I got to try it out in the real game right now, and it's cool. It's very good. It's really the main thing that just fixes politics right now. Politics is still annoying, I have to be honest. Politics is still not my favorite part, because it's still kind of complicated, kind of weird. I need more hours in the game before I really understand the system. You also have a lot of actions, as you can see right here, like 12 actions. But the family tree really lets you feel your characters, you know. You know which general is doing what, and you know what rank he is, you know what skills he has. Speaking about his skills, that's another great feature I think I really like. The skills and the household. You can really see where you're going right now with your skills. Same goes with the household. I like the general system. The system is a lot better than Rome 2. However, there are a few problems I have with this. First of all, the skills you get with these aren't as significant. They're like 1 authority, minus 10% fatigue rate, you know. What's this? Like a little bit of food. Well, this one is quite good actually, but it's not as good as I expected. For example, a level 5 general won't be as good as a, won't be that much better than a level 1 general. These things as well, it is a cool idea, but you get like 15 when you win a battle sometimes, and that really ruins the idea. So the entire character system in Attila is very good, but there is still room for improvement. However, the general campaign map and the general feel is very good. I'm still in the early campaign, of course, but the way it has been going, the campaign AI, its reactions, it's very natural for me. It's just very good. Same goes for the unit system. Units are now divided in a tier system. you can see it here, unit tier 1 in this case for my Germanic warband. This tier system really makes it so that there are a lot of different units in the game, and it really takes a while before you get to the elite units. There's no more way to just spam technologies and such just to get the good units. It really takes time in that case. Because of all the extra features like diseases, sanitations, all the new buildings, the tier system, the campaign is a lot slower and a lot more in depth. It feels to me like Rome 2, but with more features, more challenges, and just more in depth. It feels like Rome 2 for less casual players. It's still a bit casual compared to the early games, of course, but it's better, a lot better. I like Rome 2 by the way, but I just love this game until now. It could be hype, I don't know, but it feels so good. So for the campaign, of course, it looks good as well. The graphics have increased dramatically. I have to say that there is a slight drop at FPS, and there are still the same kind of bugs as like when you click on an army or an agent. You will see this red or yellow thing next to it. That will still cause a FPS drop, things like that. Still annoying, but the graphics are so much better, and for my PC it still runs fine. I do know that some other players have problems with it though, so keep out, just watch out, make sure you can run this game. So yeah, that is pretty much it what I want to say for the campaign map. It's just, if I would go in depth on all features, this video will take 20-25 minutes. I will leave the reviewing to all other sites out there, but I just want to give you guys that this game really is good. It feels like Rome 2 with more challenges, more features, and just very good systems. Now let's take a look at some of the battle stuff. So before we jump into a battle, I first want to show you the unit rosters really quickly and give my impressions. So the main screen has changed a bit after Rome 2. You can now change the map and everything right here, as you can see. And here are the factions. So the first thing that really came to my attention is the size of the unit rosters. The number of units for each faction is amazing. You may know that in Rome 2, like all Gallic factions had pretty much the same rosters, but with a few changes. That is not the case in this game, and all the factions are different. Let's put an example. For example, the Franks. The Franks, we have a good amount of spear infantry, we have some pikes, a good amount of melee infantry, 4 ex-infantry units, bow infantry, crossbows, slingers, skirmishers, a lot of cavalry, and Sacra Francisca, a cavalry guard, Frankish lancers, Taifali cavalry, all different type of cavalry. If you go to the islands, for example, infantry is pretty much the same for spear infantry, but these guys are all like different. The unit rosters are really big and different for every faction. Also, the general units are now always unique. You cannot spam your general units, you can only bring one of them, like Germanic nobles, Alani general, Frankish general, Hunnic general. And I know all of you guys want to see the Hunnic unit roster, so I will go over that really quickly. A couple of generals, a lot of infantry still, like a lot of melee infantry for sure. Only access to bow infantry though, but look at this cavalry force. Look at that, amazing. So we have Hunnic Devil Cavalry, Knockers, Hunnic Horsemen, Noble Step Cataphracts, First Wave Lancers, Hunnic Ambushers, Avar Horde, Uniguard, Hunnic Devil Archers. The Hunnic roster is completely unique. No unit in this roster is used by another faction. Last but not least, I want to say that the difference between the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire is big. Like half of the unit roster is shared and the other half is composed of personal units. The Sassanid, last but not least, Immortals, and some really special unit types like crossbow cavalry, elephants, and nav throwers, some sort of grenade throwers. So that's it for the unit rosters. Let's take a quick look at historical battles before we jump into a battle. We have a lot of historical battles. I have to say that they're pretty cool, but they aren't as scripted as Rome 2's battle, in the sense of they aren't as detailed or worked out. They're more like a set build, set army positions, and then just try to win the battle. But there's a lot of them and it's cool to play them. So now let's jump into a battle and I will show you some stuff. Hey guys, welcome to the battle map. I just loaded up a very random battle because I'm not actually going to fight it, because the major fighting system is pretty much the same as in Rome 2, but I will show you some of the new or changed features and give you my opinion. First of all, the maps. This is a minor settlement, of course. Minor settlements can now also have some sort of palisades and archery towers, watchtowers. And this one, for example, has a very interesting layout, of course. The main capture point is on the top of this hill. Especially from this side, very hard to capture. You need to go either that way or that way. But it's not just a flat city where you just need to move in and you can just easily capture it. Don't get me wrong, there are still maps like this, but most maps are now as cool and special like this one. Most maps have some sort of terrain element in it, especially barbarian maps. So the maps, from what I have seen so far, they look really good. So I'll just start a battle for now. I'm playing with a small Sassanid force against a Western Roman Empire force, which is actually coming towards me, which is bad. You can also see some of the civilians here, which is a cool new feature, of course. Farmers look like. It's not that amazing, but it's a cool feature, just good for immersion, I guess. Of course, we have the siege escalation and the fire system. We now have dynamic fire in Attila. For example, archery units can enable flaming shots and just target houses and watchtowers, and that will make them run ablaze as well. And the more of a settlement gets destroyed, the more of some sort of weakness the defender gets. Like the stats are dropping with every % of settlement damage. So that is really a cool new feature. We also have the siege escalation feature, of course, where you can besiege a city and the city will just tear apart over time. Those features are really cool. I will show you some of the fire graphics. Some people hate them, some people like them. I find them kind of cool, to be honest. Kind of cool, but as I said, you can set multiple things on fire. These are Royal Persian archers, by the way. Cool look. We'll show you some more units now that we're here. This is like the elite unit of the Sassanids, the elite immortals. They look amazing, really cool, as you can see. But I want to show some more stuff while the Western Roman Empire is attacking us. This stats panel on the left over here, of course. We now have like 3 major weaknesses and advantages of a unit. And we have more stats over here. You can now also see the missile damage and ammunition for an infantry unit. And when we right click the unit, you will see even more if the encyclopedia, yep. Hiding, spotting, missile block chance, capture power. So a lot more stats, a lot better visual. Another good thing is that you can now see the ammunition of enemy units. It's the blue bar. You can now also see, let's find the enemy missile unit. Do they have? Yeah. If you hold your mouse on enemy units, you can also see the range. And those details are just very handy, very good. I like them myself. However, what I don't like are still these squares. These unit icons. Why only squares? I preferred the banners so much. They were just more immersive. They were bigger, you could see more on them. That's basically what I liked more. And these Romans are getting peppered with stones right now. That's not very good for them, of course. But yeah, just in battles in general, battles feel like Rome 2, but there are some nice changes, but also some things that are worse. To finish it all up about battles, I also think that the FPS is a bit low sometimes, especially when there's a lot of fire in the settlement. It runs fine for me, but there will be people out there with problems with FPS in the game. That's for sure. Last but not least, I would like to mention my favorite part of Attila battles, and that is still the units. The number of units, the tier system, the different unit classes. That's what I like the most about Attila battles. So hopefully you get a feeling about this game, basically. I'm sorry for just a weird kind of video. I didn't have as much time to create it. I'm busy with more and better Attila videos right now. They will be out on February the 17th together with the game. So hopefully you still enjoy this video, hopefully you understand my impressions, hopefully it's useful, and I hope that we'll see you next time.